Oh, I forgot to clap.
God damn it, really?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to I'm Okay, You're Okay. I'm not okay. You're not okay. With me, Bob Schneider, and your other host, Clint Wells. You're welcome. I wish I could just look up and see the all-seeing eye of God and then just know everything's going to be okay.
Well,
but unfortunately, I have not been able to do that yet.
I just find it interesting that you assume that if God showed him or herself or whatever, the they, them, God, whatever the fuck it is, it's not a guy, it's not a dad. We made that up. I don't know why people can't understand that we made that up. We made up a dad that loves us unconditionally. But I'm just saying, I find it interesting that if that thing appeared and confirmed itself, why you would assume it would be a good thing. Because what if it's a vengeful God? What if it's a God that's like pernicious and hates you? I feel like I'm more tuned to that being bad news.
Let's explore that. Obviously, you have I don't have the best relationship with my dad. I think my dad is kind of a dumbass. I do think he was a little abusive when I was a kid. It took me a long time to kind of fire him as a parent and not look to him to take care of me anymore. I was well into my 40s when I did that. At this point, my relationship with him is pretty benign. And yes, we do equate God with our Father. I was brought up Catholic, and it's just our Father over and over again. So you equate your relationship with your dad with your relationship with God as you see. And with me and my dad, there was no talking to him. There was no reasoning with him. And so that was the God that I believed in as a youth. And then when I got to be a teenager, I threw it all out the window because it's all a bunch of garbage. And it's, my critical brain looked at it and went, oh, well, this is all made up. Now, as an adult who really relies on a higher power all the time, daily, mostly, I am aware that part of my relationship with that higher power is paternal and has something to do with my dad. But again, intellectually, I understand that's all garbage.
Well, I'm not knocking it. I'm not trying to make light of people who have like dearly held beliefs that help them. And well, it's like we talked about 2 weeks ago. There's people who really believe it. I mean, they believe the fire and brimstone. The God hates F words people. Remember those people? The Westboro Baptist Church people?
Oh,
There's a sense where, I mean, those people are odious and horrible, and they're wrong. They're wrong about their truth claims. But here's what I find interesting about them. They believe it, boy. They're willing to be hated by the world because they're not going, hey, it's helpful, it's nice, it may or may not be true. They're going, this is 100% true, and we're going to live like it. There's just something you have to begrudgingly respect about the tenacity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like them. I'm not into them. I think they're bad ideas, but the robustness of their conviction is so interesting.
Dude, anybody who really thinks they know anything at all,
oh no, boo to that.
I'm like,
I know.
I'm like, no. You can go, hey, look, there's this rule structure. There's this game that we're playing, and these are the rules. Yes,
great.
Those are the rules. Physics, no problem. This, boom, science, I'm all down. But don't tell me that that's what it is, because that's a set of rules that I'll live by. And yes, if I hit my hand with a hammer, it's going to hurt. I get it. I still don't know what this existence is. Have no idea. Do I think it's Jesus or Muhammad or whatever? I'm like, hell no. That's obviously just some, do I think it's Thor? Do I think it's the Egyptian gods, the sun god, Ra? I don't think so.
Thor would be fun.
Is it an unknown entity that I will never know in this world? Yes, 100%. But dude, I just watched that. Oh my God. Did you watch that thing on Netflix about the cult leader that went into that FLDS community and just said that he was the new prophet, and then of course just began fucking everybody, including a bunch of underage girls?
I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen that movie. That's a tale as old as fucking time.
It's every cult documentary at some point they go, oh yeah, and then he started fucking
It's the
everybody.
same movie.
Every single one.
My favorite one, or the one that has really stuck with me, was called Holy Hell, and it's just the same story everyone's heard of, but except this guy. This guy was fucking the wives and the dudes. He was fucking them all, dude.
Is it the one where the guy shows up at the very first scene? He's wearing like some like gold lame biker pants.
Yeah, like they found out that he was like an ex-gay porn star.
Yeah. Oh, I love that one. And
Yeah,
they're
me
interviewing the dudes, and they're like, "Well, he said he was the Messiah, and he said I had to suck his dick, so I did it."
I hate to laugh at that because those people's lives were truly destroyed. Because there's that really gnarly scene at the very end where one of his like biggest accolades, who was abused by him sexually, and I think the guy fucked his wife a few times, and him and his wife get split. It ruined his life, and he tracked the guy down. And there's this scene, and it's so hard to watch because he confronts him, and when he confronts him, you think he's gonna be like, "Hey, man," but what happens is as soon as he starts talking to that guy, he reverts back into disciple mode because the guy is just so disarming and charming that he's basically confronting him to say, "You ruined my life. You took everything from me." But then the guy just goes, "Hey, do you know who I am?" And then the cult leader, because he's hiding out in Hawaii or something, he just starts going, "Oh yeah, how are you? Wow, it's so good to see you." And before you know it, the guy's almost sucked back into it. It's such a weird thing to see.
Dude, the great thing about that documentary is that there are still people that are following that guy. But by the way, guess where that cult lands? Austin, Texas.
Yeah, no shit.
And then they build that One World Theater, and the guy who owned One World Theater, who's a bit of a kook, and I like him a lot. I like him and his wife a lot, but they are definitely kind of crazy. So after I watched that documentary, I could not wait to go in there and talk to the guy, because they obviously took it over from him and had to have been part of that cult. And sure enough, he was like, "Oh yeah, we were part of that cult, and I knew the guy." And I'm like, "Did you fuck the guy?" And he's like, "No, I didn't fuck the guy, but I don't know if he would have told me if he did."
Well, I don't think you fuck the guy. The guy fucks you, Bob.
Anyways, it was interesting.
People really want to believe in something. I sometimes when we talk about religion, I think about people listening, and I really hope it's not bumming them out. These are just our opinions, I just don't want to be mean about it. But people really do need something to believe in, and people will believe in gnarly things to make sense of life.
Man, I know a bunch of people that listen to this podcast who are religious and who do go to church and believe in God and believe in Jesus, and they still listen to the podcast. So I think I think that's a good thing. If you can't listen to somebody say something negative about your faith, then how much faith do you have? I mean, you got to be able to like hear stuff. Like,
totally.
I mean, I hear people like talking about atheism and stuff all the time. I'm like, well, that's dumb, but people believe it. I mean, I think you were a devout atheist for a long time. I don't think you're as devout as you were at one point. Well, I think you're a little more open-minded than you were.
Well, it's kind of semantic, but there's nothing to believe in atheism. Atheism has no content. So I am an atheist.
Well, it's the belief that there's no God.
Would you say that you're an atheist in regards to Santa Claus? There's no word for people who don't believe in Santa Claus. There doesn't need to be a word for people who don't believe in God. It's a rejection of a claim. It's like you telling me there's a guy that lives in your closet. And I'm like, well, I don't believe that. There's no word for that.
Well, there's a word. It's called atheism.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's gotten lumped into where people go, atheism is a religion. And it's like, an atheist goes, what are you telling me is true? And person A goes, I think Jesus is Lord. And an atheist goes, well, I don't believe that. Person B goes, well, I think Muhammad is Lord. And the atheist goes, I don't believe in Muhammad. And so anything on offer, the atheist just says, I don't believe that. But an atheist will not say, in good conscience, will not say, I know there is no God.
All right. I just looked it up right now. It says an atheist is a person who does not believe in the existence of any God or gods. Period.
Right. But that's different than saying, I know there is no God. That would be a religion. That would be a faith claim. I don't know. I don't know if there's a God or not.
Right. It says atheism is a belief and agnosticism is knowledge.
Right.
So agnosticism, I don't know if God exists. That's agnostic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe God exists is atheism.
Right. And I don't believe that God exists.
Right. So
I'm an
yeah,
atheist.
I'm definitely an agnostic. I have no idea.
Well, you're an agnostic who believes. I'm an agnostic who doesn't believe. I think you can be both. We're both willing to say we don't know. I think that's fair, right? We both are like, I don't know. But
I think that's the key.
But you say, hey, look, I don't know, but there's got to be something. You have to have a room. You know, you have this whole thing that I like a lot. You have to have a room to put the universe in. This is an experience. Something made it. That's where you are. So you're an agnostic, but you have a belief.
I'm having an experience.
Yes.
Right now.
Right.
I believe that I exist. We're talking. I believe that something's going on. What that thing is, I don't know. Obviously, there are rules. I learned them growing up. I went to school. They taught me a bunch of stuff about the world.
But you believe in God. You talk about it all the time.
And when I got sober, I had to find a higher power and then start praying to this higher power. And I prayed to that higher power and I got results. Now, those results that I got through the practice of prayer, I have no idea if that has anything to do with God or it has everything to do with my subconscious. Don't know, don't care. But I do believe that something, and I don't know what it is. Is it a corporation? Is it a person? Obviously, when the God myths came into being, it was like you just did it yourself. So all the God myths are God created the earth or one person did it. Because back in the day, that's what you had to do. If you wanted to build a house, you built it. You didn't go to Lowe's and get supplies and then go build your house or hire a contractor.
God, they would have loved a Lowe's in Egypt. They would have loved Lowe's, dude.
They would have loved it throughout time. And if there were like corporations like Samsung, when the God myths came around, it would have been like, oh yeah, this giant corporation called God built this interactive AI VR experience called life, which is probably what happened, which probably is what this is, even though it's probably not any of that. I mean, I think who's the Hindus, the coolest of all religions. I think the Hindus believe that God was just bored and then broke itself up into the universe to just experience some excitement. And that sounds the most real to me. It sounds like God was like, well, this is boring. Let's create something, and then broke itself up into you and me and everything else. And now we're just enjoying the experience.
Yeah. I mean, I'm open to all that. But that's interesting because we both are on the same path with the agnosticism thing. And then where we divert is you go, hey, what about all this stuff? Whereas my inclination is I just don't believe in any of that. I could be wrong. But if God appeared, everything would change. I used to do this analogy on my other podcast about, and I don't know if I've ever asked you this. If you woke up and in your backyard overnight, a giant beanstalk grew into the clouds. I mean, first of all, are you climbing it to see if there are any giants up there?
100% I'm not climbing it. For
You're
sure.
Not going to climb it?
I can. The beanstalk?
Yeah.
Into the clouds?
Well, just because nothing known would be true. I mean, nothing known is true anyway. But the beanstalk would just be like, here's the deal. You're not going to the DMV to renew your license after the beanstalk.
Right. It doesn't have to be a beanstalk. It could be you wake up one day and there's a portal outside of your door and there's aliens on the
everything
other side
you thought was true is no longer.
Now all of a sudden
happening.
It's like, whoa, what is this? This is something different.
Right.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times I've thought about that throughout my entire life. I think about it. I don't think about it that much anymore because I'm old now and none of it's ever happened. But especially when I was younger, I would think, whoa, what happens if I wake up one day and like everybody takes off their mask and they're all like weird.
It's like they live.
Reptiles.
They're all zombies or something. Yeah. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that just be so fun?
Well, dude, here's the thing I always thought of my whole life was like, especially because we used to travel a lot when I was a kid. We used to take these drives and we would drive through these towns. And I would think like, what if these towns were just a set? Like we're not stopping in this town. So there's no way for me to go check to see if this is a set or a real building. And I used to think about that all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's why people love that Truman Show movie, because it was like someone just had the great idea. Because I think a lot of people have this feeling, are we in a simulation? Is our experience real? Because when you look at your life, when you look at life soberly, coldly, it's a nightmare. And, that's why we spend so much time buying things on Amazon. And that's why there is a God, the
Well,
God
all right,
myth.
let me say this. So before I got sober, I got sober when I was 29. I thought the world was a nightmare. I thought life was a nightmare. The only thing that I helped with it was alcohol, was the golden elixir. It worked like a charm because I have a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear, and I have a brain that's looking for worst case scenario, and I was born that way. So my whole life, I'm hypersensitive, looking for worst case scenarios. Nothing is good. Nothing good is going to happen. Oh, here's this elixir. Alcohol takes away all of that. I'll take this morning, day and night, a day, all day, our day, till finally couldn't do it anymore. It was so painful to keep drinking this beautiful elixir that God made for me. So I had to stop doing it, but then I couldn't stop. And the only thing that could make me stop was this idea that if I ask this other thing outside of me to help me stop, it'll stop. And I did, and it stopped. And then, for whatever reason, probably as a result of working the steps and getting rid of a lot of resentment in my life, the world went from a horrible place to an incredibly beautiful place, which I documented in that song, The World Exploded into Love. And then I was like, oh no, this is actually this amazing place filled with mystery and wonder. And the only reason it works, the only reason it's great and wonderful is because of this thing that we're going to die. We don't know why we're here. And the only thing that gives it any spice is fear, which I always thought was the enemy, but it's actually the spice that makes the world worthwhile and wonderful instead of just being boring. Anyways,
I think all that's real cool.
I love it a lot. And I tell you, for the last year, I've been doing a lot of praying. And my prayer really is this: God, give me the serenity to accept everything the way it is right now. And that's my problem, is that I look at the world, it's not the way I think it should be, and I blame that on my unhappiness, when in reality, if the world was exactly the way I wanted it to be, I would be exactly the same amount of happy as I am, which is unhappy, by the way. So, but if I can accept the world the way it is, I will get the thing that I want, which is serenity, which is just being okay with the way everything is right now. Now, that doesn't mean I have to condone it. Doesn't mean I have to like the thing, but all I have to do is say, okay, this is the way it is. And I'm telling you, then the other thing I've been doing to amp it up a little bit, because of course, you know me, you know your boy.
Same OG, keep it low key.
Same OG, keep it low key. Your boy gets a little taste of happiness. Your boy wants a little bit more happiness. Your boy gets a little more happiness. Your boy wants a big old bite of happiness.
Yeah.
Until the double cheeseburger is not enough. I need that triple cheeseburger of happiness with the extra sauce.
Oh God! And put a 6-piece nug in that too.
Dude, throw some nugs in there. Throw some fries, some crinkle cut.
God damn it! That sounds
Shake
so good.
Shack fries. And then let me take a bite. So here's what I've been doing lately to give it that extra flavor. God, grant me the serenity to love everything the way it is. Because then your boy's the Buddha.
I was about to say, when do you start your cult and start fucking all the dudes and wives?
Dude, if I had no conscience, dude, I have a cult. I have a cult called Bob Schneider Music. And there's people that listen to my music and think I'm cool and love my music, and I can take advantage of that all day long if I wanted to. And maybe in my younger days, maybe I dated some of the cult. Yeah, maybe I dated a few of the cult members back in my younger days.
Wow.
Dude, why start a cult if you're not going to fuck everybody in the cult?
It is the logical conclusion.
That's why everything gets done in the world. The only reason that building got built is somebody wanted to fuck somebody.
Let me run this by you. So,
run it by
a
me.
friend came over, and me and this friend, who you know, but I will not say,
Okay.
We have a mutual couple friend, and I don't know them as well. So we were catching up, and I said, "Oh, Bill and June, how are they doing? What's up with them? I haven't seen them. What's going on?" And she's telling me about Bill and June, and she's like, "Well, they're in an interesting spot. They're trying out this like polyamory thing."
No.
And I'm an atheist. I'm not I don't have a lot of scruples in terms of moral. I'm kind of a do whatever you want, hurt no one guy. But I did think like that's bad. That's not going to work. And they're going to work. And they're going to get divorced. And I just feel so like I've become so prudish about this. But I just did think like they should honor their marriage, and they should either stay together for their family, or they should get divorced. But this thing, it ain't going to work, Bobby. I don't think it works.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, dude.
It doesn't work, does it?
It doesn't work. There's no polyamory group of people that have stayed together for 40 years.
Right.
Here's another way of saying you can say polyamory if you want to sound like a real piece of shit, or you can say what you really are, which is, oh, I'm just afraid of having an intimate relationship with another adult human being.
Or I'm bored with my partner, or what I see it as, and I don't even mean this in a bad way, but this is how I see it. I'm like, you are selfish. You believe that what you want comes before your family. Just say that.
Well, again, there's this idea that there's something outside of yourself that is going to somehow solve your problem. And some people think, well, maybe it's sex. Maybe it's sex with somebody besides the person I'm married to. And I can tell you that that's not the case, because I've been married and I've had sex outside the marriage, and it doesn't make you happier. It makes you less happy.
Right.
Because now you're lying to the person that you love. And it doesn't work.
And the person who loves you.
And the person that loves you.
How could you,
Well, here's the thing. The more you have to lie about who you are, the less happy you are. And the less you have to lie, the happier you are.
I believe that as well.
And put a period at the end of that and go to sleep.
Go night-night. You could sleep on that period. That period is bed-sized.
I wouldn't sleep on it. I'd put it next to your bed.
I wouldn't either, but I'm just saying you could. That's how big it is.
I mean,
if you were in a pinch.
It is, you could sleep a family of 4 on that period. That's the diameter of it. It's not the moon. Dude, human beings just circled the moon this week. I didn't hear about it until 2 days after.
Ain't no one care about that goddamn moon, dude. Ain't no one care about the moon right now.
Dude, all those people are like, oh, no, you can't get the radiation. Can't go to the moon. There's no way that moon landing happened. The radiation's too much. Human beings can't handle. Machinery can't handle. Hey, fucking fuck faces. We just went to the moon and back, you bitch.
I know, but here's my deal. Who fucking cares? Why did we do it? No one cares about that right now. The world, there's like, World War III is about to happen, and no one cares about the moon right now.
Dude, we went around the moon.
Who gives a shit?
We've ever gone into space. I do. I think that's incredible.
We did that 50 fucking years ago.
We haven't done it for 50 years.
Which, by the way, is weird. You have to admit that is weird.
No, it's not weird.
So every 50 years, we're going to go circle the moon. We're going to spend $1 billion to go circle the moon every 50 years.
No, I don't think that's I don't think that's the deal. I think what we did was we went up there and we're like, well, this is a very dangerous mission. There's not much here for us. But now, technology has moved on. We're 50 years ahead, and now we're trying some different stuff. I think it's amazing. I can't believe that it happened and I didn't know about it.
Because no one gives a fuck.
I did go online and try to watch the actual YouTube of the spaceship going around the moon. Real boring.
Yeah.
Dude, I was fast forwarding it, and the whole thing was so boring.
Yeah, it sounds boring. No one cares, dude. I'm telling you. It's amazing.
I'm telling you that I care.
I know, but culture doesn't care.
I don't care about culture. Can go fuck itself, dude.
Well, we were part of culture. I'm just saying, in 69 or whatever the fuck, it united a nation. We were everyone watched it. Everyone was like, human ingenuity is amazing and fuck Russia. We're the best. America fucking rips. America's the coolest. And everyone was like hugging and enemy and fucking swords turned into fucking plowshares, baby. Now everyone's so siloed and divided and scared, and no one can believe anything. No one thinks anything's real. And the world goes, scientific community is like, hey, we're going to do the moon thing. Isn't that cool? And the world goes, Iran, Palestine, Ukraine, fucking plague, death, disease, pestilence, God, sex, cult, Amazon. In that order.
Well, dude, okay, maybe that's the world, but that's not me. I'm telling you, dude, I was excited when I found out. Plus, I had my doubts about the moon landing, and now I'm like, well, I have doubts. I asked my buddy, I asked my friend Dan Winters, who knows all about it, and he's like, oh, no, the moon landing definitely happened. But now I'm like, what, before I was like, what about the radiation? And he's like, and now I'm like, oh, fuck the radiation theories. Fuck those guys. It did happen. We did go to the moon. Also, dude, we've got Wi-Fi. We've got 5G. Dude, that shit they were sending back when they were out in space was just as bad as that moon footage. Of course it's going to be shitty. That's a long way to travel for, you know what I mean?
I just need someone smarter than me, maybe it's you, to help me understand why going around the moon helps me, little old Clint boy. Because my life didn't change. I don't give a fuck about no moon.
Dude, I think
But tell me why you
proud
like
to
it.
be human, because I'm a human being, and that's something we're human beings on this rock.
We did it
trapped
50
in the middle
fucking
of
years
space.
ago. It's old news, baby.
I know, we did it again. It was great then, and it's great now. I think it's incredible that when I see human beings doing amazing stuff, it makes me so proud to be a human being. When I see people doing dumb bullshit, it just makes me feel horrible. I'm like, oh, that's who I am. I'm that. And then I see these guys flinging themselves into space on a fucking rocket, dude. Guess who would never do? Dude, I won't even go to Australia on a giant airplane that's never crashed ever.
Oh, man.
Because I'm too afraid. And these guys are hurtling themselves into outer space.
Well,
it's amazing to me.
I'm not trying to rip on, obviously you're enjoying the moon thing, and I think that's great. I think it's cool. I
love it.
We got to get out of here, though. I'm sure that people will want to write in and let us know what they think about the moon.
Let us know, dude. Please write in if you feel like me, where you think that that's a cool thing. Write in. Now, if you feel like it's bullshit, write in. Let's hear what the IOK community has to say about it. I'm curious now.
What do you think the split's going to be? You think people are going to be pretty enthusiastic about the moon?
I think the split's going to be one. I think it's going to be 50-50.
I'm going to literally do in this, and then we got to get to the Secret Weekly. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, and I'm going to let you know what my flow chart is. Does anyone in the world give a shit about the recent moon stuff? Let's just see what it says, dude. And I've been using ChatGPT for a few months now. It knows me pretty well. So, all right. That's the question. It's thinking. Sometimes when you talk like this to ChatGPT, it like gives it permission to cuss back at you, which I don't like. I've told ChatGPT, speak to me formally, don't flatter me, don't use slang, don't match my language, because I don't like that shit. I don't want it to pretend to be my buddy. And it's not coming up with an answer. We got to get out of here, dude. I'll have to let everyone know what it says in the Secret Weekly. You can join us there. Write in Bob and Clint. Is it Bob and Clint show? Why can't I remember any goddamn thing? I think it's bobandclint@gmail.com. And let us know about the moon shit.